This portion of the video is going to give you an overview of our schedule, what it looks like upon arrival, through the day, and at the end when the students are picked up or depart the school. As students come into school at the start of next year, they will start their day going into a homeroom, which is the way they will start every single day with the same teacher getting to know them. Then they will have their Core 1, then their Core 2, and then transition into their first Allied Art. In the middle of the day, you will have 2 WIN periods, and then your lunch. If during the WIN period you are an orchestra or a band student, you can see you will be taking that instead of the WIN. If you are not a band or orchestra student, you will have 2 WINs back to back. Our WINs will focus on reading using our program called Lexia, and math with a program called Alex. There will be other reading and math needs addressed during those times as well, specific to student needs. As they move through and follow their lunch, they'll go into their second Allied Art class, and then finish the day with their Core 3 and their Core 4. On the side here, you can see that all 6th graders are taking the following Allied Arts. They are on an A day, B day, so every other day they will have each of these classes, and they're semester-based. The only Allied Art that we have that is year-long is Phi Ed for 6th grade students. At the beginning of our school day, at 7:20 a.m., our doors open, and if a student's being dropped off, walking, or getting off a bus, they can enter the building. The students are supervised and released from the cafeteria area or where they're waiting at 7:50 a.m. and all students will be in the hallways going to their lockers, and then should be in their classroom ready to learn at 8 a.m. When you're dropping off your student, you will be coming in from Union or from Georgia and pulling into the circle and dropping off your student here. You may also come from Georgia. This is a one-way, so you'll have to go through, cut in, and then go up and then drop off your student. If students are biking or walking, they can come around the side of our building from the elephant path or from the rear of the building. This is where our bike racks are located back here, and they would enter through the front of the building as well. Our city bus and our yellow buses will drop off in the morning. They drop off in the rear of the building. City bus will drop off here. Our yellow buses will pull in here. And students from the city bus and students from the yellow bus will all enter through the cafeteria where they wait until students are released into the general school setting at 7:50 a.m. At the end of the day, we end at 3:20. On Wednesdays, we end at 2:05, and there are no after-school spaces or activities for students. And I'll be going over next shortly what that looks like. As students exit the building, for students that are getting picked up by their parents in a car, the same place they were dropped off in the morning is where they're picked up. You come in through Union and are picking up here. If you get here early, we'd recommend that you go into this parking area and park. Then the students will exit the building and walk down this sidewalk and get into your car. If you're coming off Georgia, make sure that you're going into the second row and parking here. If you'd like to go into the drop-off or pickup area, you have to go down and then go into the circle in that way. If you are a yellow bus rider or a city bus rider, you will be able to go into the back of the building. The city bus picks up 3 times after school, right in the same location they dropped off in the morning. And then at the end of the day, this is where our after-school center is located. So if you're picking up your student after 3:30, or your student is waiting to do homework or a club or something like that, they'll be waiting in this location. And parents will actually come in through the back circle of our building, drive along the side, park here, student will get in, and then they exit again out onto Georgia. These are some options for your students after school center, homework support. When we have our clubs and sports going on, they will go from 3:30 to 5. And as I mentioned before, transportation is city bus or metro in the back. The late buses, we have 2 of them, one at 4:25 to North and one at 4:25 to Cleveland, and then parent pickup as well. This portion of the presentation will go over technology that your students are provided by the school and any technology they may be bringing into the school. Also for how you as a parent can make sure they're being safe and using it for educational purposes while at home with you. Students will receive a Chromebook within the first 2 or 3 days of being at school in the fall. They're expected to charge that overnight and come with the computer fully charged. All school policies apply no matter where they are, at home, school, or other places. The filter stays the same. And having this device is a privilege, meaning if it's abused, goes against our school code of conduct, or is used in any negative way not intended for its use, that could be taken away, or they become a day user, meaning they do not take it out of the school. Mobile devices, such as cell phones and other electronics that students bring to school, they're allowed to use those as they enter the building at 7:30 all the way up until 8 o'clock. Once 8 o'clock starts, the electronic devices should be off, the cell phones should be off, and they should be in their lockers. They are not allowed to have them on them in classes or in the hallways. Same with other electronic devices. They will be allowed to have them again once the school is done at 3:20 to send texts, calls, things like that, or send messages. If a parent or student needs to get a hold of each other during the day, we have phones in every single teacher's room and in the office as well. All that needs to happen is a message is dropped off or called in, or we have them come down and they talk to you there. This portion of the video is meant to give parents and students an idea of our homepage and all the different resources that are there that are helpful for students and parents staying connected and getting their needs met. As you can see on the homepage, we currently are still in virtual with hybrid learning. So a virtual learning page, if you would click onto that, you could have access to our whole virtual learning page. In sixth grade specifically, they've done a really nice job with making a Google Classroom. So Google Classroom besides Haiku are two very powerful tools that we use for students to stay connected, get access to links and materials other than their paper copies of books and other materials. You can see here the sixth grade has set up a place for all the different questions and items they may need, especially during the virtual right now, in a one-stop shop. Also on our Horace Mann homepage, if you're trying to check your students' grades or you're trying to check your own Skyward account, things like that, there's a quick link here. For up-to-date information, you can do the quick tabs, and then we give updates such as the sixth grade virtual orientation, which we're doing now, and other things such as registration, which happened the last 2 weeks, and other information that's going to be relevant to your student and at Horace Mann. Another nice piece is the academics, so you can look at our IMC, virtual learning, teams, all the different breakdowns of things that we cover in the school. If you go into the library and technology, you can also get to research different elements, student academic links, so such as the Haiku or Google Drive, certain testing things and other materials we use. So lots of different things that students can use. On the Students tab, you're going to be able to see the announcements from each day for that week. So if you missed any announcements, you want to go back and look, the daily schedule and bell schedule, as well as other helpful links that may be helpful to your student or to you. Activities. This will give you an idea. So if your student wants to do some of the offerings for co-curriculars or for sports, they can sign up here and they will be able to see and read about each of those as well. And last, we have our Families tab, which gives lots of helpful information, which we'll talk about everything from school meal information to registration information, transportation, and anything else that may pertain to your students being in the Sheboygan Area School District. As mentioned earlier in the presentation, there's a certain portion of the day where we focus on students' individual needs. Besides when teachers are working with them in a general classroom and in general instruction, when we get into the 3 periods in the middle of the day when they have a win period, the students will work with programs such as Alex or Lexia. We also tap into our Panorama program, which does a survey 3 times a year for students connected to our life readiness class, which accepts social emotional learning. So when we're looking at the breakdown, Alex is a daily progress update on their math skills. Lexia is a daily update on their word study, grammar, and comprehension. And Star 360, which we give 3 times a year, is a precursor to our forward state test exam and gives some nice feedback as well. And Panorama is something we use behind the scenes with our teachers, pupil services, administration, to help keep tabs on all of our students and where they're trending up or down or where they may need our help. In Alex, that gives a full array of the standards that they might be working on, where they're progressing, where they have yet to go, and things they've already conquered. In our Lexia program, it gives weekly minutes and units that they're having them strive towards as they work in the areas of word study, grammar, and comprehension. And it shows a live feed on where they're at for the minutes for the week, how many they've accumulated over the weeks, and how they're pushing on different standards. And then the next thing's coming up that they're actually working on and setting goals. Our STAR exam is measured by the district and the state. And then we put that into our Panorama program so we can see as their student scores may go up or may go down, and looking for trends connected to Alex and Lexia related to those two scores and our work within coursework. We also have an element within our Panorama dashboard, which is a social emotional learning. And three things we target at the middle school level are emotional regulation, growth mindset, and self-management. And giving this assessment 3 times in the year, as well as working with students, we can keep tabs on where they're growing as individuals, also as a whole entire school, and help meet all their needs, not just academically, but social emotionally. The last item is that we can keep track of all these items on the same dashboard. So we don't just focus on one, but we can focus on all 4 of these major areas, such as attendance, their core academic scores, and allied arts scores, their behavior, and their social emotional learning, how they all trend up or down or may impact each other. In the final closeout of this presentation, just wanted to come back to the big picture view of the schedule and classes that students will be taking. So a reminder that homeroom is the first period of the day. Teachers will do a check-in, they'll have announcements, breakfast every day. So we'll touch on those social emotional learning needs here and make sure everyone's ready to start their day, besides having the social emotional learning as part of the semester-long curriculum in Life Readiness 6. Reminder that they would have their ELA, their math, their science and social studies during the cores, and then whatever allied arts they have over each semester, which would include all of these. We really thank you for your time, and any questions we're going to have next in this presentation. Thank you, and have a great day.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Renee Zink. I am one of the school counselors at Horace Mann, and I am thrilled to be able to be here with you this morning and talk a little bit about coming to 6th grade next year.
And I'm Mrs. Taylor. I'm the other school counselor here at Horace Mann. Mrs. Zink and I split the alphabet. I see students with the last names A through L. Mrs. Zink sees students with the last names M through Z.
So we would like to talk to you today about coming to 6th grade. What are the classes, the activities?
Okay, so a typical day in middle school looks a little bit different than a typical day at elementary school. One of the main differences, I would say, is that we have teams in middle school. So there are 2 teams per grade level. Each team consists of about 100 students. Therefore, that means there's roughly 200 students per grade level. And then within that team, you have a core group of teachers. Some of those teams will have 3 teachers, others will have 4. Those teachers would consist of your core academic classes, which would be ELA, math, science, and social studies.
Another thing that I know 5th graders are excited about is taking a look at your lockers. Next year, you'll be having lockers with combination locks. So you'll have your street locker that'll be located in the 6th grade hall, and it's a large locker that you can put your coat and your backpack and all your school supplies in. But you will also be having a second locker with a different combination lock, and that will be in the gym. We use the locker rooms to change into different clothing for gym class, a t-shirt and either sweatpants or shorts with an elastic. If you need help learning that combination, that is really expected, and you are welcome to ask questions and ask for help.
Okay. Also new to middle school are what we call A and B days. So your schedule will look a little different each day. What you guys are used to as referring to as your special classes, we refer to as allied arts, which will be 2 periods each day. So every day you still have your core academic classes, so your ELA, math, science, and social studies, but you will alternate allied arts. So you will have different allied arts on A days than you would on B days. During the school day, we also have what's called an advisory and a win. Advisory is usually the portion of the day where there's any school-wide information or any maybe competitions that are going on building wide that would happen or take place during. Sometimes we have door decoration competitions and things of that sort during that time. WIN stands for What I Need. So that's an intervention period that takes place during the middle of the school day. Next year, you will have 2 WIN periods. One will be more specific for reading and the other will be more specific for math.
So that takes us to your Allied Art time. Now, your Allied Art is our middle school word for your specials. Again, as you take a look at these classes, some of them will look familiar to you, although there also are some new ones mixed in here. In 6th grade, we want you to try it all. So these are all going to be assigned required classes for you. All right, so the only choice that we do have for 6th graders in this area is whether or not they would like to play an instrument. I know that was something they were not able to do this year in 5th grade, so we are super excited that they get the chance to try out an instrument in band or orchestra next year in 6th grade. Band and orchestra will take place during our WIN period. So as Mrs. Taylor said a little bit ago, there's 2 WINs, they're 30-minute periods. One of those for someone who is playing an instrument would be that music class.
Also want to bring opportunities to you guys on how to get involved in middle school. So it is a great time to try new things and explore, maybe experiment with different things you're not typically used to or have been asking about, and maybe take a chance on it. Right here in front of you, you'll see a list of our interscholastic sports that are available in middle school. Interscholastic sports means that you would be on a team with other Horace Mann students and then competing against other middle schools. So for 6th graders, that means opportunities in cross country, wrestling, and track and field. We also have those opportunities listed for 7th and 8th graders to answer any questions you might be wondering for opportunities that are in store for you in the years ahead.
We also have a number of opportunities in the arts for the students who like to practice that creativity. The musical is always a really nice one to highlight because it does bring in such a large number of our students. There's many ways to get involved, whether you want to be an actor or an actress with a larger role, or whether you'd like to be singing in the chorus with the group, or even behind the scenes, painting the sets and running the lighting and the sound booth. So
we also have service clubs if you're interested in volunteering for helping the greater good of others. One is student councils. The student council does a great job of leading our student voice in our building. They often get student input on what type of spirit days we would like to participate in, or maybe the door decorations that take place, as well as help planning the events that take place after school. Mrs. Zink can touch base on what Builders Clubs is because she helps run that.
Okay, Builders Club is a service organization. We like to get the kids out in the community to help others. So we go to the Meals on Wheels gardens and harvest vegetables. We've made dog treats that we take to the Humane Society. We've gone to the nursing home and done Christmas caroling and playing bingo with the residents. So whatever. The middle school tours happen in May. Again, this year at this point, I know that we're not having additional people come into our building with the restrictions that we have. So perhaps this may be virtually a virtual tour, but we do want to give kids an opportunity to see what it's like inside our halls. I know we look really big on the outside and we're pretty manageable on the inside. Last but not least here is our orientation night, which takes place right after school starts. Right before school starts, in August. And students can come into the building, they will get their schedule and their locker and their combination and get to try all of that out if they want to bring in their school supplies so they don't have to haul them to school the first day of school and put them in their locker. That is a very welcome thing to do. And then finally, and not on this list, but another opportunity to make sure that you are aware of is that there's Jumpstart through summer school. This is an opportunity in August where our new 6th graders can come into the building with just the 6th graders that have signed up for Jumpstart. They get introduced to a teacher, they get early access to their lockers, and some learning just skills, again, that will help them be successful and comfortable in middle school. Really a great benefit of it is their first chance to make some new friends here. And with that, I think we are bringing it to an end. And we urge you that if there's anything that you would like to, if you have any questions or concerns, please contact Mrs. Taylor and myself, and we'd be very happy to answer anything that you would like to know. Thank you.
Thanks.